Hello and welcome to the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. This is episode number 59. My name is Ismael San Juan. Thank you so much for being here. This is going to be a quick episode. Just want to talk about Brody going to the Lakers. The Lakers acquired Russell Westbrook. And also want to talk about Djokovic losing in the semifinal of the Tokyo Olympics to Zverev in a crazy comeback. All of that on this episode of the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. Let's get started. The Lakers have traded for Brody. They have traded for Russell Westbrook, Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and the number 22 pick in the NBA draft was sent to the Wizards in exchange for a 2024-2028 second-round pick and the Brody. It was a three-way trade. It involved the Pacers and Aaron Holiday too. But basically, that's what the Lakers gave up to get Russell Westbrook. So what does this mean for the Lakers? Myself, a Laker fan, I am pretty excited about this. Brody, we definitely needed a point guard. The Lakers needed a point guard. They needed someone that could distribute, that could be a facilitator, and they got that with Russell Westbrook. Was he the number one point guard that we could have gotten? No, obviously Chris Paul just had an MVP season. There was rumors that the Lakers could get him. There's other rumors for Kyle Lowry, other point guards that could have done a good job. But ultimately, the Lakers pulled the trigger on Russell Westbrook, and I think it's a good move. I think there's other moves the Lakers could still do to really make this team an elite team. They could get shooters. They could get a stretch 4, stretch 5, some more wing defenders. There's obviously, this is not the end of the offseason, so there's more moves to be made, but this firmly positions the Lakers to be the team that comes out of the West. You know, the West has been strong for years and years and years, but right now I don't think there's a lot of teams that should scare this Lakers team. I mean, there's not too many players signed on the team. We still got to figure out who's going to be part of the 12-man roster for the Lakers. I believe they only have like 6 or 5 players signed right now, so we got to see who the Lakers sign. But as currently constructed, if you were to just do an outlook for the Western Conference, the Clippers are going to be without Kawhi for a while. We'll see how he recovers from his ACL. The Nuggets, we'll see how Jamal Murray comes back from his ACL. And we'll see if they're able to take that next step to really be a championship contender. If Djokovic could, have that another MVP-like season. And as far as the other teams, the Mavs need a lot of help. Luka is amazing. He's generational talent. He could end up as a top 10 player of all time, top 5 player of all time, but he needs help. Kristaps Porzingis needs to step it up. So realistically, the Mavs are not going to be a problem for the Lakers. The Clippers, they could be a problem, but we'll see how Kawhi comes back from that injury. That's a terrible injury. I hope he gets well and back into the court soon. The Trailblazers, I mean, they're kind of a contender. They're a playoff contender. They're not really a championship contender. We know what the Trailblazers are. We'll see if now that Chauncey Billups is there, if they're able to bring some defense. But they've been in the playoffs for years and years and years, and they just seem to be a first or second round exit. So this Lakers team, I think they should run through the West. You have the Jazz, you have the Suns. I don't believe the Suns are going to make another run like they did this year. The Jazz, the Jazz are fraudulent, in my opinion. I believe in Donovan Mitchell. I don't believe in his supporting cast. They're too slow, and when you have your defensive player of the year that becomes a liability in the playoffs, it's just not going to get it done. So the Lakers, this move just gives them a lot of flexibility. If either LeBron or AD go down, Brody, Russell Westbrook, we've seen him carry teams to the playoffs just on his back, just on his own, just on pure adrenaline, on pure energy that he brings, on the ferocity that he attacks through him. He's a one-man army. He could himself just carry you to the playoffs, get you a couple wins when you really need someone to step up and allow LeBron to take some rest or get back from injury. Because LeBron, he's getting older. We've seen him with the groin injury. We've seen him this year miss some time. And AD, we all know he's fragile. He's always due to miss time. So when inevitably that happens, AD misses time. Hopefully LeBron, could play the whole year, be healthy the whole year. But if he does have another injury because he is getting older, then Russell Westbrook is like the perfect guy to take over, to lead your team when you don't have a lot of talent around him. So I think Brody, he helps out during the regular season. He's gonna allow the Lakers to be able to give LeBron some time off, give AD some time off, and still be a competitive team. Still be a team that gets wins night in and night out. So that's one of the positives. And in the playoffs, I think it's all about talent. Yeah, Brody can't shoot, and he needs the ball in his hand, and LeBron is best when he's a point guard. At this stage in his career, he needs to be a facilitator. He needs to have the ball. We all know that LeBron sometimes dictates. It's the LeBron system. Wherever he goes, he implements the LeBron system. Give him the ball, get to a corner, and shoot. So Brody, I don't think he's going to improve his three-point shot anymore. He's like on year 12 or something of his career. So I don't think he's going to get that much better of a shooter. But what he can improve is just being active, just always moving in the offensive side, just cutting and going back out, cutting, just being a ferocious cutter. Use that energy that he has for rebounding in the offense to just set screens, set the best screens, cut. And I think it could work. Like I said, in the playoffs, it comes down to talent, who has the most talent. And if you were to just look at stars and rosters, you would think that we're headed towards a Nets versus Lakers finals. Obviously, the Bucks are going to have something to say about it. We'll see if Embiid is able to do something, if they move Simmons. There's other teams out there that are going to have, something to say about it. But it is looking like we're heading towards a Lakers versus Nets finals in the 2022 finals. And that would be great. All the storylines of, Brody versus KD, AD versus LeBron versus Kyrie. There's just so many storylines that you could already start to write right now. And I think we're headed towards a great season. This is a super team. There's a lot of people that have been discounting the Lakers stars. They have been discounting Russell Westbrook, but now that Russell Westbrook is a Laker, everyone's comparing this team, calling them a super team, saying it's not fair. Well, we'll see how they do. I, for one, I'm excited to see them on the court. I think it's going to take some time for all of them to gel. Like I said, Russell Westbrook, one of the highest usage rates in the NBA. LeBron James, always one of the highest. AD, he could shoot the three, he could shoot the long mid range, but he really shines when he has the space down low, and he's able to post up and use his post moves and get to the rim. So we'll see. The spacing in this team is definitely going to be a problem, especially at the beginning when they're barely getting used to each other. But one thing I will say is, if Russell Westbrook locks in, which I think he will, because he's going to be playing such a great player like LeBron James, and next to AD, he's going to be next to greatness. So AD, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook, when they're all on defense, that's an elite defense. And you pair that up with a solid five, a solid center, or more defensive wings, then you have the potential to be a juggernaut defense. And Frank Vogel, he runs some good sets on defense. So I'm very excited for this Lakers team. The one thing that would concern me is the 2-3 zone. When you don't have shooters, when Brody's not the best three-point shooter, when LeBron's not the best three-point shooter, when AD's a decent three-point shooter, but he's a big, so he's good for a big. He's not like elite. So we'll see how the Lakers round up the roster, how they get shooters, how they get some defensive wings, how they get like a stretch 4, stretch 5, a rim protector. We'll see how they finish this roster. But as of right now, I think the Lakers, they should have two opponents, two teams on their head, and it should be the Nets and the Bucks, which is crazy to say because both of them are in the East, and we've all known that the West has been the stronger conference for years and years and years. But I really truly believe, as of right now, Friday, July 30th, that the Lakers they should be the team that comes out of the West. Like I said, if Kawhi was healthy, that would be a different story. It would be the Battle of LA. I would say that one of these two teams would get out. The Clippers could still make a move, but like I said, I don't believe in the Jazz. I think they're fraudulent. They're a regular season team. They're like the new age Atlanta Hawks. I don't believe the Suns are gonna come back and be that dominant of a force. And the Mavericks need to make some moves. The Trailblazers are who we thought they are. Like, Chauncey Billups is gonna have to work a miracle, and all of them are gonna have to play defense for that team to be a serious contender. So we'll see if a team comes out of nowhere and surprises us in the West like the Suns did this year. But it's looking like the Lakers are gonna be the team to represent the West. We'll see who comes out of the East, and I'm already calling it. It's going to be a very entertaining finals. What do you guys think? Was this a good move by the Lakers? Should they have gone after somebody else a little harder? Maybe Kyle Lowry, maybe Chris Paul. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, for one, I think it's a good move. Brody still has a lot in the tank. He's going to get his head straight playing next to LeBron, next to AD. I am very excited to see Brody, AD, and LeBron line up this upcoming season. Djokovic is out of the Olympics. What a crazy comeback by Zverev. Want to give Zverev all his flowers. Congratulate him. It was an epic match. When I was watching it, it was like this match ended like around 3 a.m. for me. I stayed up watching that, and it was so entertaining. Djokovic won the first game 6-1, won the first set 6-1, and you just thought, oh, damn, Djokovic is just going to cruise into the final. This is it. Although Zverev did have chances to break Djokovic in the first set. Initially, in the first game that they played, Zverev had a chance to get a break, and he couldn't close the deal. And then he served, and he tied it 1-1. And then after that, it was just Djokovic. There's a lot of points that Zverev left there. And you started to see Zverev get frustrated. He started to lose his composure in the second set. Zverev throws his racket to the ground in frustration. You start thinking like, damn, this is it. He's down 3-2 in the second set. He's down 1-0 overall. Like, he's down a break in the second set. This is it. He's not going to come back against Djokovic. Not the way he's been playing. Not the way he's been serving. Not the way he's been playing this whole year. And amazingly, Zverev makes a comeback. I think Djokovic kind of tired out on that when he was up 3-2 on that second set and he was serving. They had a long rally, and he looked winded after that rally. Zverev gets the point, and Djokovic looks like he's trying to get easy points. He's trying to go for the volley after the serve, really, close the gap on the net, and it didn't work out for him. He loses that set 40-0. Zverev gets the break back 3-3, and after that, Zverev just cruised to finish the set. And it was just crazy. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was watching it. My roommate was up with me watching the beginning of the match when Djokovic won 6-1, and I was just like, wow, Djokovic is putting on a show. There's no way he loses. I just kept telling him, the only thing I want to see is for Zverev to at least push it to the third set. I don't care who wins. Like, I would like Djokovic, to make history. If Zverev upsets him, obviously that's going to be a shocker too. It's going to blow up Twitter. Either way, I was happy. I'm a neutral in this. I was happy for Djokovic if he won. I was going to be happy for Zverev too if, he's one of the young guys that breaks through and finally, defeats one of the big three and, takes that next step into becoming one of the greats. So I was happy either way. I wanted to see history. I want to see Djokovic get that golden Grand Slam, and I wanted to see Zverev, pull an upset, take that next step into becoming, an elite player. All I wanted was to see a third set. Like, I didn't want Djokovic to just run through it. I kind of wanted to see a great match. So when Zverev pushed it to the third set, I was very happy, and I was like, okay, like this is gonna be epic. Like, obviously Djokovic didn't finish the second set as strong as he could have, but this is a whole new set for all the marbles. Like, I was excited. I got my cobija, I got my blanket, I cuddled up. I was like, damn, I'm not going to sleep. I'm up right now. Let's see this. Let's see if Zverev could pull it upset. Let's see if Djokovic, comes back or, gets himself together, gets some composure and finishes his game. But to my surprise, Zverev finishes Djokovic in the third set, pulling off one of the greatest upsets, the upset of the year, in my opinion. It was just incredible. Gotta give Zverev all the props. Djokovic, it looked like he was rattled. Like, I've never seen Djokovic rattle like this in a long time. In the third set, it was so difficult for him. I don't know if it was the pressure of getting a gold. We all know that he's been hunting for that gold medal since 2008, and he's fallen short. He just has one bronze, and I don't know if the pressure got to him. Like, it's crazy to say that because Djokovic is one of the most headstrong persons out there on tour. He's always, very composed, very headstrong, like very confident in himself. To see him have so many errors, so many rallies that ended with Djokovic hitting the ball out of bounds, it was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like I was already happy to see a third set. I was like, damn, this is gonna be good. And when Zverev just continued to build on that momentum, you just see Djokovic getting frustrated. He started screaming. He started looking towards the fans on the stands, his teammates, his fellow Serbian Olympians, his coach. It looked like he couldn't get it together. And, there was a couple moments in that third set where you were like, okay, Djokovic just got 1 point. He got another point. Is he building momentum? Is he going to come back? Yeah, he's down a couple games. Yeah, he's down like a break or two. But if he's able to, get some momentum going, like he could potentially come back. And Zverev just always kept shutting the door. Nope. I'm going to finish my serve. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to close you out. And he did. Zverev closes out Djokovic. It was incredible. He reverses the 6-1 from the first set, beating him 6-1 in the third set himself. And it was just, I for one was shocked. Like, I don't have too many friends that watch tennis. I have a lot of friends that watch soccer. They watch football. They watch the NBA. And, they watch the UFC. They watch boxing. I have a lot of friends that watch, almost all my friends watch sports. All of them love sports. That's one of the things that I have with almost all my friends. That's what I connect with most of my friends, just talking about sports, watching sports, going to bars, going to stadiums. I have a lot of friends, or I don't have too many friends, but all of them do love sports, but not too many know tennis or follow tennis like that. So I was just excited. Like I said, it was 2, 3 in the morning. I was trying to text the few homies that I know that like tennis, because it was, in my opinion, this was some historic stuff that we watched. Djokovic going for that gold medal that has been so elusive for him in his career. We know Nadal has one. We know Federer has one in doubles. We know how much it means to him, and he loves Serbia. We know he wants to get a gold medal for his country. So it was just like the importance. Even before the Olympics, he said history's on the line here, and it was. We all know the magnitude that so much pressure. Djokovic, there's another comment that he says that, something about pressure is what makes us professionals, or what makes us be professional tennis players, something like that. I forget the quote, but I'll put it up here. So it's just, there was so much riding on this game. The Golden Grand Slam, Djokovic coming in with that hot streak, Zverev trying to establish himself as one of the greats, one of these players that's going to finally overthrow the big three. So I don't know. Maybe we'll look back at this in a couple years and like we'll be able to really grasp the magnitude. But I felt it in my chest. I felt it as I was watching. I don't know if you guys felt that, but it felt like we were watching some historic stuff. And Zverev looked like that was the last stand. When you took Djokovic against the field, no disrespect to the finalist on the other leg, but it really felt like Zverev was the last stand. If he lost, then Djokovic basically got the gold medal. It felt like this was the final, and Zverev pulled through. He had probably the best match of his career. He was crying afterwards. You could tell that a lot of emotions were coming to him. He couldn't believe it. He thanked the crowd. He thanked his fellow Germans that were supporting him. And he even told Djokovic, I'm sorry, you're the greatest of all time. They had a great moment in the middle by the net after the match. But it was just incredible. Like, I was so pumped up. It was 3 in the morning where I was, and I was just ecstatic. I was up. I was awake. I knew I was watching some historic stuff. One of the upsets of the year, one of the upsets in modern tennis history. It was just incredible. I couldn't believe it. I thought Djokovic was going to cruise through it. I was almost tempted to go to sleep after the first set when he won 6-1. It just looked like it was done. And when he broke Zverev in the second set and he was up 3-2, it was kind of like, okay, like, I could finish this. I could finish this set and go to sleep. It shouldn't take too much longer. Zverev is, losing his composure. He's throwing his racket. He's kind of like showing a lot of emotions and, losing his cool. So I was like, oh, this shouldn't take too long. I'm about to go to sleep. And out of nowhere, Zverev just turns it around in one of the most incredible turnarounds I've ever seen in a tennis match. Just incredible stuff. I do think Zverev is going to go on and win the gold medal. And I feel bad for Djokovic because he had a doubles match, a mixed doubles semifinals after that, and he ended up losing that too. So now he has no chance of a gold medal in Tokyo. He has 2 third-place matches, so he can still medal twice. But I feel bad for the guy. I know how much he wants a gold, and for good or for bad, he's always going to be compared to Nadal and Federer. It's just inevitable. Even if there's groups of fans that just want to appreciate all 3 of them, like myself, I want to appreciate all of them. I love all 3 of them. I am an Nadal fan, but I love all 3 of them. There's no way that they're ever going to escape the criticisms and the comparisons to the other big 3. And Djokovic, who has been the most vocal out of the big 3 to acknowledge that he wants to end it with the most Grand Slam. He wants to be the most decorated player. I think he really wanted to get that gold medal to match the gold medals that the other 2 have. And for him to fall short was hurt. He said he was devastated that his game kind of just broke down. And I feel for the guy. I know he's going to bounce back. I'm already looking forward to how he comes back for the U.S. Open. That's going to be a epic must-watch TV. Nadal, there's already video circulating of him training. And it's just going to be incredible. This tennis season has been incredible. I'm having so much fun watching tennis. Let me know what you guys think. Do you feel for Djokovic? Do you think Zverev could be the next star? Is this going to be that jump, the moment in Zverev's career where you're like, this is the turning point. This is where he went from, a perennial top 10 player that, is just going to be there, moving up and down the rankings, topping out at 3, going down to 8, just being a perennial top 10 player and, being comfortable being in that range. And now with this moment in his career, can this be the moment that takes him to number 1 in the world for him to start winning Grand Slams? Is this what's going to do it? I'm excited for Zverev. I'm excited to see that next chapter in his career. And I'm excited for the tennis season to continue. It's been a great Olympics. It's been a great season for Djokovic nonetheless, even if he did lose. But let me know your takeaways from this match. I'm excited to see the comments, have some discussions, talk about what we just witnessed, because in my opinion, it was historic. But that should do it for this episode of the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. A quick episode. Just wanted to touch on Brody going to the Lakers and Djokovic falling in the semifinals in the men's singles and in the mixed doubles in Tokyo 2020. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast. I should be dropping an episode soon. There's a lot of sports kicking up. My Premier League prediction is going to come out. My NFL predictions are going to come out. And the NBA draft just happened, so we'll see if there's any more moves coming up. It looks like trade season is heating up. So subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the channel. I am out. Have a great rest of your day.